The world of DC has fallen to a vampire horde led by the King of the Night, Nightwing himself. When we last left off, Nightwing had finally taken the throne and finally conquered the planet. The story then spun off into a series of one-offs and side stories, including All-Out War, Hunters, and Killers, where we discovered that Harley Quinn's blood is potentially lethal to the vampires. All-Out War is following Deathstroke, and we'll be continuing that eventually, and Hunters showed that Damian Wayne is working against Nightwing even though he's a vampire. Well, now it's time to get back to the mainline story. We're going to be picking up a couple of months later, but the things that you need to know is that Batman has died, Nightwing has taken over as the King of Vampires, like I said, Harley Quinn's blood is against them, and there is a resistance trying to fight against the vampire hordes. This is Comicstorian. I create audio dramas of your favorite comic books, and then we read them back to you, allowing you to know what's going on in the world of comic books and know what you should be adding to your collection at your local comic book store. And don't forget, if you enjoy my dramatic readings and audio dramas, we've got a fun little side project that we're doing in which we create our own horror short stories, and then I dramatically read them to you once a week. Check out that link down below to come over and join Tales from the Mind. Now, let's get into DC vs. Vampires, number 7. It all happened so fast. As the infection spread, our heroes turned on each other, falling one by one. Their leaders, their protectors, anybody who tried to stop the coming plague was killed as a warning shot to the rest to not resist. And yet, they didn't listen. But it was too late. Those who fought fell. Those who ran were hunted down. And after the big battles ended, they plagued the forests, the jungles, and the crops. People starved and choked on smoke while the whole world was plunged into constant darkness. The planet was theirs. And Nightlight, one of humanity's last safe havens, has fallen, or so the rumors say. As a convoy passes through the dead of night, it is stopped by a roadblock of burning cars. Director Bones gets out of his car, telling Killer Frost to put out the fires. Peacemaker and Strange get those cars out of the way, everyone else eyes up. As Peacemaker and Strange get to work moving the cars, Strange asks if he saw something. And Peacemaker says that it was probably a rat. Strange tells him no, it looked like a snake, and Peacemaker says that there are no snakes out there. He'll give him $50 if it was a snake. Just then a snake slithers up asking if any of them has seen his apple by any chance. Strange grabs his gun yelling, "It's Plastic Man!" And Plastic Man says, "Someone get this man his money!" As a fight breaks out, Bones yells to everyone behind that this was an ambush, protect the vehicles. Wonder Woman flies down telling them that she prefers to think of it as light housekeeping, and at that moment Firestorm and Heatwave surround the front team, and Peacemaker says that they can take them. Killer Frost focuses her eyes on Heatwave, asking if this one can even do anything that isn't against defenseless civilians. Heatwave goes to respond, but Firestorm obliterates her, telling him, "Don't get distracted, get back to work!" Raven gets to work pacifying Heatwave, but as she turns her attention to Wonder Woman, she tells Raven, "You're just a sad little goth girl." Before Raven could use her magic, Plastic Man coils up, biting her on the neck. As the remaining members of the team fall or are picked off, Firestorm walks up to Bones, stating that he's going to ask him a question, and if he doesn't like the answer, he's going to melt him. Bones says that he always thought that he was the most boring member of the Justice League, and Firestorm tells him, "Funny, 'cause I never thought of you at all. Where's the secret city?" Bones lights a cigarette off of Firestorm's chest, telling him that he has no idea what he's even talking about. Firestorm says that he thinks that he does. He can't save the city. They will find it. So if he was a smart man, he'd be worried about saving himself right now. Bones says that he'd say the same for him, but it's too late for that. Before Firestorm has a chance to respond, he's stabbed in the back from behind, causing him to go critical and explode, taking out about everything around him. As that smoke clears, a puddle of water lifts up, taking the form of a person, and Jaina appears. As a voice calls out to her, she quickly spins back, ready to fight when the voice tells her to relax, down here. The Skull of Bones says that he doesn't know who the hell she is, but they need her help. And Jaina tells him that there is no we. The vamps won't be down for long, and she isn't sticking around to face off with Wonder Woman. Bone then tells her to take the first car. It's armored. And as Jaina tells him that she'd rather travel on foot, Bones asks, "Does it look like I give a damn what you want? Get in the car!" As they're back on the road, Bones asks if she's alone. She says that she lost someone. He always wanted to be a hero. She just wanted to be with him. And then after he was gone, when it all happened, she didn't know who to trust. Bones says that that's what they must do. They must become what they take from them. Be the hero that you lost, Jaina. She wipes a tear, telling him that she doesn't know if she has it in her. She just wants to make them pay for what they've done. Anyway, this is the spot. But there's nothing here. As she looks over asking again, she just sees Bones' head is just there. She gets out, looking at the swamp for a moment, and then Killer Croc's head slowly begins to appear from the sludge. He says, "Password." She asks him, what? And Croc begins to sink back down as she's yelling out, "Wait, no one told me that there was a password. How many guesses do I get? Mr. Bones told me to come. Director Bones, I never got his first name." Croc stands up. "You should have just said that. Here." He hands her a small bottle, and then the Atom jumps out of it asking, "Jaina? What? Where is everyone else?" Jaina says that they were killed in an ambush. No one made it. Mr. Bones survived long enough to get her here safely. Atom is shocked. Wait, did he actually pull it off? Please let her be okay. Atom runs to the back of the car, opening up the trunk to reveal Supergirl, and Jaina asks, "Are you freaking kidding? She was in there the whole time? Why didn't she help?" Croc picks up Supergirl, telling Jaina to back off. "Why not get that stick out of your butt and look up?" Atom tells her that there is no sun, so there is no Supergirl, just Kara. And how about they get into the city? We good, Waylon? Croc says that they're good, and Atom shrinks both Supergirl and Jaina into the bottle, and Croc walks back into the polluted lake. As the city begins to unfold, Atom welcomes Jaina to Kandor, the last Kryptonian city. Supergirl looks around, asking what happened to the Kandarian, and Atom explains that they bring refugees here to hide, assuming that the Kandarians would take them in. But there was no one left in the bottled city when they got here. Grayson's forces must have found the city before them. Supergirl asks who got here, and Atom tells her Wonder Woman, Grodd, Majestic Shazam, and Kal-El. But come on, let's get inside. As Jaina, Supergirl, and Atom all walk in, he finds Batgirl and Green Arrow arguing about what they plan to do next. Green Arrow suggests that they go hit the human farms in Smallville, while Batgirl says that they need to go over their other plans first, and Dr. Fate says that the priority needs to be clearing the ash clouds out of the sky. They do that, they get a tactical advantage over the Turned. Their best bet would be Australia. Batgirl then says no. As long as the Vamp King is around, the war continues, and they will continue to lose. She's going to Gotham to kill Dick Grayson. Constantine then says, well, if you're going to Gotham, there's one poor soul who got out after it fell. She could probably tell you how it's done. Only, she's working with some nasty chaps on a little project, and they're not exactly the sharing type. Elsewhere, as Hugo Strange gets prepped, he says that he's going to take another spinal fluid sample. Anyone else need anything while I'm there? Across the room, a chained-up Harley Quinn lifts her head, stating that she's going to take a moment to remind them that in case they forgot the last 100 times that she said it, but once she gets out of these chains, she's going to personally beat up their big old brains out of their tiny heads with a big freaking hammer, okay? As what remains of the heroes in the world gather in the shrunken Kryptonian city of Kandor, Black Canary walks by Green Arrow's room when she overhears an argument inside. Green Arrow yells that he's supposed to be enough for both of them, but Constantine tells him, my guy is already risking his life with this. If you want, I can teleport you into Kent's backyard to get more. Canary opens the door asking what is this all about, and Constantine tells her that she can ask her lover boy. She then snatches the cigarette that he's about to light, stating that she is asking him, and if he can't, get out of her man's room so that he can explain. Constantine scoffs, getting up, telling her, fair enough. Turns out, I have to go anyway. He leaves with Green Arrow beginning to explain to Black Canary, but she tells him to stop. She already knows that he isn't going to tell her the truth anyway, so just don't. You're leaving, right? And Green Arrow asks what does she want him to say. There are blood farms. Humans are being kept in cages to be fed on. So I'll ask one more time, come with me. You know I'm a straight shooter with you at my side. She asks if he's sure that this isn't just him trying to confront Carter. We can't save him. We have a real shot at taking down Grayson and ending this entire thing. You should come with us to Gotham. Green Arrow asks, what after? Who takes the throne? Diana? Jean? The kid? Besides, Constantine is never gonna let Barbara go on her suicide mission. She's too valuable. Black Canary sighs. Damn it! We've been over this 1,000 times. I didn't come here to argue with you. I already know that I can't stop you. And Green Arrow looks at her. And I know I can't stop you, so what now? Black Canary pushes Green Arrow back onto the bed, stating that they'll spend one last night together then. So meanwhile, in a fancy room, Grayson smiles. It's all over. I've won. I don't dream anymore, but if I did, I couldn't imagine a dream greater than what I've accomplished. There's one thing that I've always desired that I still don't have. Her. As Grayson sinks his fangs into Starfire, he asks, "Is that why she's coming?" Barbara pulls out a stake, telling him, "No. You know why I'm here." Grayson turns, kissing her. "I do. I'm just afraid that it is you who was unsure, Barbara. You could have everything. You could be my queen." But as the fangs bite into her neck, she screams as she wakes up from the nightmare. But then a voice says that they didn't want to wake her. Sounded like she was having a hell of a dream. Barbara turns on the light, telling Constantine that he has no right. But as the light comes on, she sees Constantine is actually slumped in a corner, burned, covered in cuts. She asks what the hell happened, and Constantine says that he doesn't rightly know. He went somewhere and there was a fire. Whatever happened, someone made sure that he'd forget. Barbara says that she's sorry, but what can she do? And Constantine says that she needs to go to Gotham, make Grayson pay for what he's taken from them. Go to Gotham and kill the bastard. So later, as Barbara goes to the lab where Hugo Strange, Professor Pig, and the Thinker are experimenting on Harley Quinn, Barbara tells them that she is sorry for doing this, but she is here for Miss Quinn. Thinker tells her, "Welcome, but unfortunately, the subject is vital to our work on a cure, so we won't be releasing her." Barbara tells him that Constantine sent her, and she doesn't care. They had their fun. Now she's taking Harley. Just then, the wall bursts open as Frankenstein yells that she is interrupting important work. Barbara grabs Professor Pig, stating that she is going to stop monsters from doing monster things. And Frankenstein swings his sword. "I am no monster!" Hugo yells that she knows that Quinn's blood is fatal to those afflicted with vampirism. She could be the key to winning the war. Barbara says that she needs her too, and she isn't going to torture her. Frankenstein attempts to grab Barbara, but she tells him that imprisoning a woman and experimenting on her against her will is the work of monsters. What do you call a person that protects monsters, Frankenstein? As Barbara turns, grabbing her sword, she puts it to Frankenstein's throat. And he tells her, "You have a valid point. Take her." But as Hugo is about to stab Barbara from behind, Harley smacks him with a metal stand. "It's my turn to experiment on you!" After stomping Hugo's face in, Barbara grabs her, telling her, "It's okay!" And Harley tells her, "It really isn't." Barbara yells that they have more important people that she can shove her foot in. And as the two begin to leave, Black Canary hops down asking if everything went okay. And Barbara says, "No problems." Frankenstein walks in asking if he could have a moment. Barbara asks if he's looking for round 2 because she can promise him that she will not be as gentle as she was the first time. But he kneels, holding out his sword. "You misunderstand. I would like to offer you my services." Meanwhile, out at sea, John Steele asks if she's sure about this. It's not too late to turn back. Supergirl tells him that whatever is happening in Australia right now might be the only chance she has to get her strength back. Out of the shadows, Black Manta says that they've placed their trust in the wrong hands. "And now you will die for your insolence." He throws his trident and he lands it between Supergirl and John, hitting an Atlantean, obliterating its head. As more Atlanteans crawl up onto the ship, Black Manta says that Arthur's scouts have found them. "We're going to have to fight the rest of the way there. Take the girl below deck." Supergirl tries to swing, telling them that she can fight, but John rips an Atlantean back, telling her, "No, Manta is right. We can't lose you. If we do, we lose." At that moment, the entire ship is pushed and John falls over. But Black Manta grabs him, stating that the Atlanteans have command of the water itself. "Remember, the depths can claim you, even on your ship." As they get their footing, an Atlantean holding Supergirl says that the whole world is searching for her, and they bring her to the seas. But Black Manta does something, and the Atlantean clenches his chest. "What are you doing?" Seconds later, a watery tiger bursts out of the Atlantean's chest, ripping out its heart. And John tells Manta that he should have told him that he can make water tigers burst out of people's chests. Black Manta tells him, "This isn't my doing." And then the tiger takes a human shape as the woman says that it seems like they needed help. As she fully materializes, John asks Jaina, "How did you do that?" And Jaina says that she isn't sure. Since her brother died, she seems to now have both of their powers, forms of water and forms of animal. So she stabs the Atlantean with a stake, and Supergirl asks, why is she following them? Janice says that she made a promise to a dying man that she'd help her get to wherever she needed to go. She doesn't know where that is, but she'll be there. Supergirl looks to her. Well, welcome aboard. We're on our way to save the world. And Black Manta chimes in. That or drown. And there you have it. I know we're a little behind on this one. I didn't realize that this series had so many issues come out. I thought that they had transitioned over to All Out War, kind of like how White Knight transitioned over to Red Hood for a little while. So I wasn't aware that 7, 8, 9, and 10 had all come out. And there's so much going on that I couldn't cram it into one video without making my editors suffer. So subscribe to the channel because we're going to come back and finish up the rest of what is currently out on this. This weekend, we're going to bring you DC vs. Vampires 9 and 10. And then we're going to come back and wrap up All Out War, and then we're going to come back and wrap up where we left off in White Knight. So I'd love to have you guys be a part of that. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. But I also want to ask you a question. What do you think of this whole series? Because we were having a discussion how it's so weird that right now DC has Deceased going on where they're losing to zombies, and they have DC vs. Vampires going on where they're losing to vampires. When I was talking to the writers about which of these books we're going to cover right now, they got confused because there's so many things taking over the DC universe at the moment. So out of this and Deceased, which do you like right now, DC vs. Vampires or Deceased? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time right here.